Hello, hello, hello. Let's see here. Let's go through the comments real quick. Welcome. This is going to be a very, very quick live. I got a doctor's appointment. So, hey, Bianca, Christopher Hughes. Bianca saying hi. Deb C. Bianca. Hey, Justice. Rosanna. Maddie. Kaylee. Nathan. In the Idaho 4 case. Always Justice. Open Mind Perspectives. It's good to see you, love. This is on our Kansas case. Welcome. So we're going to go over a few things. As we all know, it's been a long time. I follow you. I see you. Love back. Hey, Beach Baby. Good to see you. I'm going to have another live later. Okay. But this one, I want you guys to see a couple things. Okay. We will have another live later. So it could be very possible. Okay, let me just start here. So yesterday I pulled up the paperwork. I'm going to pull it up again real quick. Seems how Veronica's mom, and all rights to do so, has filed a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit. One good thing about a civil lawsuit is you do not have to come up with, you don't have to come up with all the evidence you do in a criminal lawsuit. Let me get that out first. And I think at some point, Rock's going to be silenced. So it's going to count on you guys. I'm going to do my best to get it all out there. So let's see here. Let me pull this up and share it with you guys. Got a lot to go over in a little bit of time. So I'm going to share the screen. Let's see here. We're going to play this first. Okay? We're going to play this first. And let's see here. Give it just a minute because there is a video. There is a video. Let's just go to videos. Actually, let me do this. Let's do Kansas moms. It hit all the local stations. This lawsuit did. I'm going to have to add more to it. Kansas moms murder. Okay, here we go. We're going to watch this real quick. I'm going to go through this very, very quickly. So if I miss your chat, I'm sorry. But we're going to try to go through this very quickly. And it'll have a commercial, so we got to give it a minute. Let it get through its commercial. Whew. Some people don't want the truth out.
Don't take if allergic to Nurtec ODT. Allergic reactions can occur even days after use, like trouble breathing and rash. Get help if you have trouble breathing, swelling of the face, mouth, tongue, or throat. Common side effect is nausea. When migraine takes your time, take Nurtec. Ask your doctor about Nurtec ODT.
Not if I can't help it, I won't be silent.
Breaking news tonight. The mother of Veronica Butler filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the 5 people charged with her gruesome murder. We dug into the 32-page lawsuit filed in Texas County, Oklahoma District Court today. Veronica's mother is suing on 13 counts, including civil conspiracy, defamation, and child stealing. Much of what is written in the court documents is already known. But we are learning more about the alleged sexual abuse Tiffany Adams says her grandchildren were subjected to by one of Veronica's family members. The documents say all of that is false. Tiffany was on the Cimarron County Hospital Board of Directors. The lawsuit alleges she, quote, used hospital resources and or personnel to falsify hospital records to push the narrative and, quote, submitted them as evidence to the court for the purpose of manipulating the proceedings as part of a scheme to gain full custody and control of the children. On March 18th, 2024,
But she had no control over the division, and I'm going to read the exact name of the division. I will tell you that everybody thinks that Grandma Tiffany had power. She did not have power. She definitely did not have power over the Kansas Department for Children and Family Services, Prevention and Protection Services. Just remember that. That's what might be in your area called DHS. Some people call it SRS. In Kansas now, it is called Kansas Department for Children's Services, Children and Family Prevention and Protection Services. Remember that. That is a Kansas document and a Kansas agency. Because I'm going to get into it.
Veronica filed for extended visitation with her children, and 11 days later, Texas County prosecutors say she and Jillian Kelly were murdered. Veronica's mom is suing for medical and burial expenses, mental pain and anguish, and grief and loss of companionship. Tiffany Adams, Tad Colum, Paul Grice, and Cole and Cora Twombly are charged with Veronica and Jillian's murders. Cora and Paul entered a plea deal in the case and have agreed to testify against the other three. After waiving his preliminary hearing in December, Cole wrote on court documents details of a plea deal. However, we reached out to the district attorney's office in February, and they say no documents have been filed.
Okay, there was that.
Bust reviews is an
I'm getting rid of it. So now I'm going to share with you this lawsuit. Let me get to it and share it with you. It was filed yesterday. I just happened to come upon it yesterday. Thanks, Debsy. Yes, we have to make sure that it gets out. I'm just going to straight up say it. Veronica's mom don't want the real truth to get out. Now, I have never agreed with what happened to Veronica and Jillian. I am 1,000% for everybody involved getting charged, and the right charges. What they did was horrible. One of the most horrible acts I've ever seen. But let's get down to business. When you have stuff like this happen, you have motive, okay? And I'm just going to be honest. I don't see the motive as the grandma wanting custody of the kids. That's my own personal opinion. Let me put that on here because it is my own personal opinion from everything that I've seen. I was like one of the lucky ones that was able to get into the OSCN documents before they were sealed. Okay, they are now sealed. But it does talk about Veronica's brother and SA cases. And there was 3 SA cases. So, one that involved her brothers together, one that involved Wrangler's children, and then another one that I have not seen, but I do know there's 3. So we're going to share this OSCN because we're all about honesty here, and we are going to keep it about honesty. So let me pull this up. Okay, as you're seeing here, I always go in to check to see, if there's anything new on any of the 5, if the court dates has changed or anything like that. Yesterday when I found this, listen, I didn't even realize yesterday was the 3rd. So I found it the day that she filed it. And again, I'm going to rush through this very quickly. And then I got some homework for you guys. I want you to go watch something. It's going to be very important that you go and watch it. Okay, this is her lawsuit, Amanda Berner. Public record, anybody can look it up. Just go into the OSCN, look up any of the 5, because she's attached it to all of the 5. Okay? Wrongful death suit. And then we can pull this PDF. And I'm going to bring that up. I'm not as savvy as a lot of people, so give me just a minute. Share screen. Here's the PDF. Okay? I'm going to show you just some important things. You guys can go through and read the rest on your own. I'll get back to comments here, make sure that I get to everybody. Again, thank you for the prayers. Actually not. Well, listen, Veronica was not married. She had a fiance. So, and I see some court documents calling this guy her husband. It was a fiance. Baby daddy is Wrangler. He went through 6 months of rehab. He wants his children back. And honestly, I don't see any reason why he can't get his children back. But here we go. Amanda Berner files this report, and I'm just going to skip to some of the major parts of it. Okay, it's against everybody. And plaintiff Amanda Berner, plaintiff is, and at all times, relevant hereto with a Kansas resident and the personal representative of this state, descendant Veronica C. Butler, is therefore the individual entitled to bring a cause of action for wrongful death of Veronica C. Butler for the benefit of the wrongful death beneficiaries under 12 OSCA. Now, let's not forget, Veronica has children with Wrangler. Wrangler is still alive. People get into trouble. He got into some trouble. He spent 6 months in rehab. Everything's great. His children have a half sister, and they have some stepbrother and stepsisters in that relationship. He is remarried. Okay, so she talks about Tiffany, and Tiffany being current in the jail. My glasses are so dirty, I should have cleaned them. But I want to go over just a few things that she says here. She's going after Tiffany's father's trust, which involves a lot of people, the children. And honestly, I don't know if you can go after inheritance. I'm not an attorney. I don't know, so I'm going to leave that open. But everything I looked up, you can't go after inheritance in Oklahoma or Kansas. So if she can, that would be for her attorneys to know. She says they can all be served over here in Texas County Jail. But she's doing a defamation suit, which is involved in this. And that I have a problem with. I'm just going to straight up say it. I have a problem with the defamation suit. If you was part of my group and you was in Discord, then you know why. Because the aunts shared paperwork from the Children's Family Services, Kansas Department for Children and Family Prevention and Protective Services. Full report. She shared it with everybody in that Discord. So, as far as the essay, we've read it, we know it. So, but because it's minors, you cannot read it. Okay. Says there was a custody dispute. Listen, there was a custody dispute back and forth. At one point, Veronica had custody of the kids. Luckily, like I said, I printed all that. I have all that. And then Wrangler appealed it, and he got custody of the kids. And Veronica was awarded supervised visitation. Now, why on earth would a judge order supervised visitation? Well, here, number 21. Talking about Defendant Adams, Rickman's mother. In her capacity as a member of the board of directors of the hospital, Adams stated to the board that Veronica repeatedly exposed the children to her brother, whom Adams falsely alleged had sexually assaulted them. Well, I'm telling you right now, there's 3 reports out there of sexual assault from Veronica's brother. So this little statement right here, I think she believes that that the sexual allegations aren't going to come out because they're minor children. But whatever happened to the right of being able to face your accuser? Again, I think all 5 should be charged, and I think there is more that needs to be charged in this case. But we're going to go further, okay? If you want to go read this, you can go into the OSCN, pull up Paul Grice, pull up anybody, and you will see all this. It's all about money. Not sure what she's wanting it for. I think there's a dollar amount of $75,000 is what she's looking to get. She wants reimbursement for a funeral, well, cremation and celebration of life, which I'm not sure, because I kind of thought that was paid for with the GoFundMe money, and there was a trust fund. Again, I don't know where the trust fund is, don't know where the GoFundMe is. It had Veronica's fiance down as a recipient of it. When in all actuality, there's heirs to Veronica's estate, which would be her 2 children. So here it is. Where for this count, plaintiff respectfully requests that this court enter judgment against defendants in the amount that is fair and reasonable in excess of $75,000 to compensate plaintiff for the damage sustained by the death of Veronica, which includes economic and non-economic damages, including but not limited to medical and burial expenses, mental pain and anguish suffered by Veronica, personal loss, and grief and loss of companionship of her daughter, and other damages available under an Massachusetts law for pre-judgment and post-judgment interest as provided by law for punitive damages in an amount that is fair and reasonable for her costs in maintaining this action, and for orders and or relief the court deems just and proper under the circumstances. Okay, we're just going to skip on through it because there's a lot to read. And tonight I will go through and read every bit of it. But just so we get down here, looks like the attorneys are out at Overland Park. It don't show attorneys at the top, but it does show at the bottom of the paperwork. So we're going to get to it. Here's one out of Overland Park. Matsui and Berker, PC. PC is corporation, means corporation. And then Dollar, Burns, Becker, and Hershaw, LC. And they're from Kansas City, Missouri. And then a Garrett Oates out of Woodward, Oklahoma. So these are attorneys for the plaintiff. Now we're going to go on to something else. So with that said, let me get rid of that. See if there's anything. Make sure I've got all the comments keep caught up. Wrangler also couldn't see his kids, just like Veronica. That's true. He was kept from seeing his kids when he would go pick them up. One of your drug task force agents was there. Seemed to act like he was in charge. I bet you can guess who that was. And the sheriff. And it's not the sheriff of Cimarron County now. And the sheriff said, you can't get the kids. And so did KM. KM told on several occasions Wrangler that he couldn't get his kids. Now, since when does the drug task force do a child custody exchange? I don't know. But anyway. Okay. Exactly. That's what we've been told. We was told that the fiance took the GoFundMe and bought a truck. That came from a family member. So, again, I think they should have to prove where it came from. I don't know. I mean, Can you go after? I mean, you can't put a price on a life, as far as I'm concerned. There is no price on a life. But can you go after, one, somebody's inheritance that involves a lot of people? And two, can you go after something that wasn't paid for by you? It was paid for by a GoFundMe or trust fund. If it was paid for by a GoFundMe or trust fund. I'm not an attorney. I don't know. So I would be guessing at that point. Okay. So we're going to pull up, to begin with, this right here. And I want to make sure that you guys go. I'm not going to play it all. I'm not going to play it all. But Melanie Little, April 2nd, she went live and she had all the court papers. She's an attorney. She's great. I need you guys to go and at least go watch this video, because I'm only going to show you a part of it. You're going to have to go. That's going to be your homework. You're going to have to go watch this video. I've got it at 1.25 because I have seen it. So I made it go faster for me. Let's see here. And I'm going to tag that in the comments over here. Let's see here. Make sure I'm keeping up with chat too. The husband is the one I got from the song, a fiance, okay? And yes, right, there we go. There you go, there you go. I might have did some stuff twice. Whatever settlement, if she gets any, should be under attorney for the kids, not her. I would think so too. And this is going to be the exact link that you go to watch what I'm fixing to show you. And I'm only going to show you pieces of it. So, with that said, let me pull this up. Now pay close attention. Melanie goes over a lot. She brings up the original, anything that she can find that was done on March or April 2nd. She brings up everything she can find on April 2nd. But this part here really, really is interesting, because Veronica's mom saying that there were allegations, false allegations. Well, how do you have 3 sustained Department of Children's Services cases sustained for sexual abuse? That has nothing to do with, that was Kansas. And then there was 2 out of state. But that has nothing to do with the hospital in Boise City at all. That would be the Kansas side. But anyway, let's go on.
Except it doesn't want to come up right now. All right, here it is.
Okay, let's back it up just a little bit, because this is very interesting.
Court.
The court papers was not sealed. I, too, copied all the court papers. But Melanie did a good show. This is Melanie Little. I'm going to show you this one piece, and then your homework is going to be to go watch this, because it's from the very
beginning. The son is 8 years old. It says, none of the parties of this case shall have the unilateral authority to cancel any visitation or disqualify any of the above-mentioned court-approved supervisors. If any party should have a problem with a visitation or supervisor, the party shall file a motion, and a hearing will then be held regarding said motion. All visitations shall continue unless and until there's an order of the court stating otherwise. And then it says, supervised visitations shall take place, this was the first one, Saturday, November 25th, 2023, and shall continue on each and every subsequent Saturday as currently ordered until further order of the court.
Now just think about it. Why would a judge put supervised visitations on either parent unless something bad is wrong? Okay, I'm just going to say it. Love me, hate me, whatever. I'm just going to say it's the way it is. A judge wouldn't put supervised visitation on a parent over their children unless there was something bad wrong.
Then, and this is where I need my local folks, it says, the parties shall meet at 4 corners for exchanges of the minor children for visitation purposes. It just says 4 corners in quotes. Does anybody know where Four Corners is? And if it's anywhere near, if it's within 3 miles of I-95 and
We're going to go a little bit further. Okay, right here.
married at some point. So it says the parties shall meet at Four Corners for exchanges of the minor children for visitation purposes. If visitation takes place at the home of the defendant, Veronica Butler, the defendant's husband, shall be allowed to be present in the home during visitation. So it appears that Veronica Butler got married at some point.
And the way I understood it, everything says fiance. So if you in the chat, did she get married? Because I understood it as a fiance. But you'll see in this paperwork she's fixing to show.
She has a husband. And then this is what I find really curious. I'm going to even put this up on the screen because this is how curious I find this. Except it doesn't want to come up right now. All right, here it is. Under no circumstances shall the minor children be exposed in any way to CV at any time.
So it goes on. Colin's in here. Lauren Collin is in here. Many people, they're saying CV, which I know who it is. You guys probably know who it is. She says the name of the person, well, she says it's the brother. Okay. So under no circumstances, let's listen to that again. Under no circumstances.
Except it doesn't want to come up right now. All right, here it is. Under no circumstances shall the minor children be exposed in any way to CV at any time.
Why would that be? Interesting, eh? Because according to the court papers, Veronica's brother was SAN. Several people. But unfortunately, them are sealed. And you're going to have to go watch Melanie. Because I like Melanie. I like what she does. And you'll see Lauren's comments in there too. So we're not all stupid. We know that there was things going on. And she talks about Wrangler and when he was in jail. Right here it says that he was ordered to 6 months. 6 months in rehab.
Fully discharged. It says here that he may not have in his possession any alcoholic beverages or intoxicants or drugs of any kind, that he shall report to the treatment facility for successful completion of a not less than 6 months inpatient alcohol substance abuse treatment program. So he had to go for 6 months. He was supposed to appear and get there on March 22nd of 2024. We do not know if he made it. I don't know if
they
Okay.
are in danger.
Oh, hold on. Let me mute this.
Hiding through and
I'm trying to pause. Okay. So we do know that Wrangler went straight from jail to the Salvation Army to do his 6 months. That has been proven. Okay. Then Melanie goes on to tell us, like I said, you have to go and watch this. Melanie goes on to tell us about a very first report she found from News Channel 12. Now, that would be the Wichita station. News Channel 12 is KWCH, but I've never seen this guy that is on here. So I'm not sure that this is, does Oklahoma City have a News Channel 12? I don't know. I just don't know. Because, anyway, here we go.
But yeah, it's insane, right? So let's take a look at, there was a local station, and you know I like to go to the local stations for my coverage of this because I find that they take it so personally and they are really invested in it. So I'm going to show you from earlier today. It was about actually only 5:30 this evening. A local reporter from a station, 12 News, in Wichita, Kansas, did a great interview with the Oklahoma. Let me put that banner back up here. So if anybody knows anything, has seen anything, please contact The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, 1-800-522-8017, or they have a tip line, email tips@osbi.ok.gov.
Good afternoon. I'm Keith Grant, joining you from the 12 News Connected desk. Now, 2 women from Kansas are missing. A post shared by the Hugoton Police Department says Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly are the 2 missing. We'll bring them up here real quick. These 2 women were on their way to pick up Butler's children, but they never made it. Now, Kelly is from Hugoton. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation says their car was found abandoned on the side of the road in the Oklahoma Panhandle. There hasn't been too much released about this situation. Hunter McKee, Public Relations Officer with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, joins us now. Good afternoon, Hunter. These women have been missing since March 30th, so that's Saturday. From the time they were reported missing to now, what does OSBI know?
What we know so far is that their vehicle.
You can hear in the background of his newsroom, there's a lot of chatter. So it's not me, it's them. But it's a little bit annoying, but we'll deal with it.
Was found by the Texas County Sheriff's Office, and this was near Highway 95 and Road L. And this was just south. So when you're looking at that Texas County, northwest Oklahoma area that is near the Kansas border, just south of the Kansas border, their car was found parked on the side of the road there. The 2 women were gone, though, and there was no trace of where they might have gone.
Yeah. Who did anyone report them missing, or did law enforcement find them, or find the abandoned car? I guess
the Texas County Sheriff's Office was the ones who their deputies found that vehicle in that area. So as soon as they found the vehicle and realized that there was something suspicious about that vehicle and that the women that occupied it were gone, that's when they requested us.
Of course. What did they find inside the vehicle, the car?
In regards to our investigation, we cannot release the condition of the vehicle or what was inside. We can say that the vehicle that the 2 women were driving was a small blue SUV. And again, we are still investigating what we were able to find inside of the vehicle to help us lead to finding these 2 women. Also, where they were traveling to. We're still looking into that as well.
Okay. Where, I guess, do we know where the women were last known to be seen before this?
We do not know. We know that these 2 women were from Kansas, that they were driving from Kansas. They're both from the same area there in southwest Kansas. So we know that they were driving together, and they were driving to Oklahoma, but the exact destination of where in Oklahoma they were going, why they were driving through. I know that there's been a lot of people put some information out on social media, but right now our special agents with the OSBI are still looking into where they were going and what they were exactly doing.
Of course, I guess with so.
Why is it that I know and you know that they were going to Four Corners? How do we know that and they don't? He's keeping it really close to the vest on this. I mean, we just looked at the court order that says where they have to do their custody exchanges. Aren't they like FBI? Oh, this is, I guess, their State Bureau of Investigation. It's not federal, but so do we compare them to like MSP, like the Massachusetts State Police? Is that the same sort of, they're on the same level? We know where they were going and we know why they were going there. I don't know why they're keeping it so close to the vest. It could help. It could help find these women.
So much limited information from the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. Why are they considered endangered missing persons?
Well, this is a very, very rural area of northwest Oklahoma, as we've said before. And when you have a vehicle that you know was occupied by these 2 women, parked along the side of the road, and they're both gone, it's extremely concerning. And so when you don't hear from them since Saturday, like you had mentioned, it's something that we're all, obviously aware of, that there's that there's a lot of concern, and there's a possibility that they can be in danger because nobody knows where they went.
Of course, so that's kind of leading up to it. And of course, as you mentioned, the rural.
Well, they could be in danger because nobody knows where they went. I think there's a little bit more to it than that. Listen, I'm not, I'm not an investigator. I'm simply an attorney with many, many, many
Thank
years
you,
of experience.
Bianca.
But if you want the public's help, I think you need to throw them a little bit of a bone.
Area. So is there any suspected foul play at this time?
We can't confirm that there is foul play at this time. However, again, with their vehicle being parked along the side of the road, with nothing else being around there, and the women are gone, it's something we are. Let me just put it this way: all possibilities are on the table of us investigating what may have happened in these women.
Of course, I know that since OSBI hasn't really confirmed where they were going, but on social media there's been, they were going to get their Butler's kids. Do we know? Have you guys had any contact with her kids?
At this time, we've had contact with several people that knew both of these women and had contact with them in the hours and days.
Okay, that wasn't the question. The question is, has anybody contacted the children? Are the children okay? He doesn't even answer the question. Scott, one of my other amazing moderators, who is 25 years, retired, NYPD, says, you can say it, Mally's not a smart man. I back the blue 100%, Scott. You know I do. But like, what? Just let everyone know that the children are okay. That's what everyone wants to know. I'm concerned about the children. Let's take this back a second.
At this time, we've had.
Of course, I know that since OSBI hasn't really confirmed where they were going, but on social media there's been, they were going to get their Butler's kids. Do we know? Have you guys had any contact with her kids?
At this time, we've had contact with several people that knew both of these women and had contact with them in the hours and days prior to them going missing. However, right now we are still investigating if they were going to see children or who they were going to see exactly. Again, that's hopefully information as we're gathering that we'll have a little bit more clarity to. But as of right now, we're still unsure if they were going to see children or who they were going to see exactly.
Yeah, Hunter, I guess, why is there so little information being shared about this situation? I know that it's kind of.
Did he just totally avoid answering that question about whether anybody has spoken to the children and whether they're okay? Hey, Lindy, I'm going to try and pull a map up. Yes, I do have a map. Let's let this play out, and then we will get to that next. But thank you for that question. And thank you for the intersection of Highway 95 and Highway 412. All right, we'll do that on the Google Earth next. Let's let this play out.
Causing issues for that rural area of the Panhandle.
We understand that people are very concerned. People want to know what has happened. I mean, these two women, the people that you speak to, this obviously is not normal. Not only is it normal for them, but it's not normal in that area for a car to be abandoned and two women to just vanish. But again, it's a comprehensive investigation that has to do with a lot of different local law enforcement agencies. And part of our investigation is we have to look into every aspect of what may have happened and what may have led up to them going missing. So again, we understand that people want to know more, but this is information that we're still gathering through and diving through. And we need to continue to look at this, and some of this is going to take time before we can necessarily release more information.
Of course, I know that this is causing issues for Yarborough schools, which is
Oh, we do think they're in danger. Isn't that what he just said? Let me just take that back for a second because I got sidetracked and I wanted to hear what he said. He's not saying much more than he said today.
Gone, what had happened, why the vehicle stopped, why they got out?
No word from them, no phone calls. Police are concerned.
There are no suspects or persons of interest at this time. We cannot confirm that there was foul play. However, we do believe that these two women are in danger.
They're in danger, but we can't confirm there was foul play. So I don't know. I know that there's a lot of smart people in the chat. What does that mean? We can't confirm that there was foul play, but we do think that they're in danger. How do you have one without the other? Anyone? Tilly says things will come out. Some is and was initially known locally. Not for me to say though. Right. That's why I'm not naming names, Dilly. I'm not naming names. I read up in those Facebook groups too, and I'm only reporting on what I could confirm in court documents. So if you are just joining, 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old
Chacon. All right, Bobby, we have limited information here, but based on what we do know, what are you seeing here?
Well, I could be wrong, Dan, but it looks to me like an abduction. Now, the only question then becomes, is it abduction from somebody they know, or was this a random opportunity? Somebody saw two women traveling alone in a vehicle along a deserted stretch of road or a rural stretch of road, and it was an opportunity crime. But I would have done, I hope they did an exhaustive search surrounding the area where the vehicle was found with dogs and drones and whatever. And then the standard investigation of talking to friends, family, coworkers to see if either of them had a beef or a dispute with somebody, either personal or financial. And you're looking into the backgrounds of each of them to see, but it certainly looks like an abduction to me.
But one of the first things I think you'd want to know is, were they having car trouble, for example, right? Meaning, did they stop and something happened, or did they pull over?
I was muted. I do want you to go to Melanie's channel. I do want you to go over. I am in a very big rush about doctor's appointments. So I'm going to go on to the next thing. So she's trying to say that Granny made sexual allegations, pushed her power as being on the board with the hospital there in Boise City. But Boise City is not who wrote the SA allegations. It was the Kansas. I want to make sure I get it right. It was the Kansas Department for Children and Families Prevention and Protection Services. Okay? It has nothing to do with Boise City as far as that goes. But it did go into the court case file, which is now sealed, which would have been Veronica and Wrangler's custody battle. So with that, I want to bring this back up. I know you guys have seen it 1,000 times, but so there was no sexual allegations. So Miss Verner says, Amanda Verner says, okay, in her paperwork. Check this out. And I sped it up to the part, where'd it go? Well, I had sped it up to the part where the ex-attorney, let me see here. Here it is. Let me share this one. I got so much on my screen, was trying to do this extremely fast. Because rumor has it, people can't keep their mouths shut. So rumor has it that, well, for one, you got to know where I live. And for two, supposedly they are trying to silence me. And why would they silence me? Because I got the goods. I have that report. The aunt was graciously sharing it to everybody in Discord. I am not the only person that saw that report. Everybody in Discord saw that report. But here we go. I skipped through it. We're now to Tiffany's old attorney, and Cuomo's asking him, well, did you see anything? You know, Wrangler was in prison, which he wasn't. He was in jail. But anyway, here we go. This is the attorney for Tiffany Adams, former attorney, and what he has to say about the SA allegations.
I did not. And the reason I did not is because there's an element that has not been considered here. The Kansas Department of the Protection of Children and the county sheriff in Hugoton, Kansas, conducted a 27-page review of the allegations that Mrs. Butler's 18-year-old half-brother had sexually violated not only the two children here, but his own brother, plus others.
Right.
That report exists.
Again, there's 3 reports. So obviously one is with Wrangler's children and Veronica's children. Her brothers, one brother against the other, and another report. So there's 3 reports out there. Because they're minors, they're sealed. But just because they're sealed does not mean it didn't happen. Like I said, the aunt shared it. We saw it. We know what the report said. Many of us. Many of us. So silence me. There's plenty of others that seen that report.
A half-brother had sexually violated not only the two children here, but his own brother, plus others.
Right.
That report exists. I can assure you it's on the prosecutor's desk and on whoever represents her now. That was a very serious allegation.
Sure.
And Mrs. Adams' position was that Mrs. Butler didn't believe that her brother could do that.
Right.
Even though the department found that he could. And so for her to have visitation without supervision was dangerous to the children. And the judge has already found that there was probable cause to believe that this boy was a sexual predator and had attacked her children.
And that would be why in that report that Melanie showed, that they are by no means to have any contact with the CB. Somebody by the name CB. You guys know who it is, so it's not hard to figure out. What the heck's going on here? Looks like my computer's going dead too, so let's keep going.
Now, her son, and let's face it.
Okay, so I'm going to skip that. So Wrangler got in trouble. You know, all kids get in trouble. He got sent to a 6-month rehab, which he attended. He completed. I don't understand. Like, he should have custody of his kids. That's my opinion. He should have custody of his kids. He's already been through treatment. They got a half sister that's been born. They got stepbrothers and stepsisters also. And they have court April 17th. So hopefully things turn around for Wrangler. I know he's got a home. He's got a job. He's got a wife. They have plenty of room for the kids. Hello to everyone. Again, I'm just trying to do this fast because I got a doctor's appointment. But I will go again live tonight. Rock, I have some new stuff to share with you, but I lost your number when my old phone broke. Oh, okay. Okay. Let me figure that out. Let me think about that. Let's see here. So we went over that. We went over the OSCN details, the mother files for, listen, I think the family should be confiscated. You know, there was loss of life here. But who's suing for the children? Does Wrangler need to sue for the children? Or is this grandma suing for the children? Now, it's under my impression that CB is still a minor and lives with his brother underneath the roof of Veronica's mother, which would be, in this paperwork, the Amanda Werner. So we got us a definitely crazy situation here. So make sure you go back and go through everything. Go listen to Melanie. She was the very first person that I saw cover it. Go listen to that whole thing that she has. There's locals in there that makes comments. They say exactly Lauren Collins in that same thing. They say who CV is. And let's see here. Basically, does anybody have any questions at this point? I need to figure out how to get Eagle or USMC Cowgirl my phone number. I gotta think about that. I'll see if I can't. I'll figure something out. Or do you have an email address that I can send it to you? That would help. If you had an email address where I could send it to you. Yes. Give me your email real quick. I'll screenshot it and then I'll delete it. And I will email you. Again, I think everyone involved in this situation needs to be charged, and I think there's more that needs to be charged. But that's my opinion. My opinion also, by looking at the documents that was given to me, is that the essays was not allegations. That's my opinion. They were substantiated. And if you look up the word substantiated, then you'll know that that means they were founded to have happened. And in the report that the aunt shared with everybody, it was about the brother. And it went into extreme detail. Extreme detail. Bad enough where a person would have to set down that report and go back to it several times just to read that report. So it also says in that paperwork that she could possibly be trying to get custody of the children. Well, you just saw on Melanie's in the custody battle, it says USC. I'm still waiting for Cowgirl to give me your email. Anyway, it says by no means at all can CV be around these children at all. That should tell you guys a little something. Okay? Does that give anybody the right to unalive two women? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I also feel that if the courts would have did what they were supposed to do and Children's Services would have got them reports to whoever needed to have them reports, we might not even be here today into this situation. And, you know, Veronica was doing good. She was trying to get the supervised visitations lifted, but I can almost guarantee the judge was not going to lift the fact that these kids could be around certain family members. So, with that said, that's where we're at on that. Let's see here. Okay. 346. Well, I was kind of waiting. I will watch, and so will the mods. If you go to comments at some point and you put your email there, they can screenshot it and erase that comment, just so you know, so that nobody else gets your email The mods have the permission to go into the comments and they can delete things. They can post things. Again, this channel is everybody's channel. I'm just a spokesperson. And I guess somebody don't like me speaking, maybe. That is the rumor. We'll see. Until then, we're going to keep going over it. I've sent it twice so far and it disappeared. Okay. Well, let me do something else. This might help. Hold on. Maybe only mods can do it. I'm going to give you another opportunity. Let's see here. Channel on here. Okay. Okay. USMC, type something, anything. Say hello, anything. There we go. Okay. Let me screenshot it. And then I'll erase it. Alrighty. There you go. And you now have a wrench. I'm going to trust you with that wrench that you will use it for good purposes and not bad. So there you go. Guys, I've got to go. Remember, go watch Melanie's channel. And we're going to discuss this some more. Well, I don't know why your wrench was gone, but it's back. Okay? You got your wrench back. Okay, guys, I got to go. I got a doctor's appointment to go to. We will go live tonight. Let's see, it's Tuesday. Let's say 7 o'clock. So think about 7 o'clock. Best of luck. Thank you. Much love to each and every one of you. Yeah, it's a lung scan. Listen, I've got some health issues going on. I'm not even going to lie to you. But I've been to the doctor since COVID. So I got colonoscopy coming on Tuesday. I'm not real thrilled about that either. A week from today. And then on Thursday, I have skin cancer that'll be surgically removed that I have to go in the hospital and they will put me under for it. So I just got some things going on. But we are going to stick to the truth. And I don't believe that we've strayed from the truth at all. The only difference is I went places that other people hasn't went. And that's because the truth is the truth. And motive is a motive. So does it make the motive right? No. But I'm a grandma. And I'm going to tell you right now, if somebody sexually abused my grandchildren, I cannot tell you what I'd do. But I would do something. I couldn't unalive people, but I'd probably take my grandkids and leave the United States or whatever it took to do it. Again, what people are not understanding is Wrangler's not had the kids taken from him. At one point in the custody battle, Veronica got full custody. That was appealed. Wrangler was awarded the kids. I will tell you in that paperwork, it was brought up, and there was a reason why a person has supervised visitation. And it is not because Granny had the judge under her thumb. I can tell you because I've read every bit of it. And now it's sealed. So since it's sealed, I don't know what, you guys can't get a hold of it. So go watch Melanie Little. She shows a lot of this stuff before it was sealed. So how about that? With that, much love to everyone. Again, let's look at 7 o'clock Central Time. When I get back from the doctor, I'll see how I'm feeling. I might even do it earlier, but I'll try to post it. Okay, I will try to post it. And yes, absolutely, 1,000%. This channel is about getting justice for Veronica and Jillian. They do deserve justice. Okay, I agree with that. But also, there's other victims, and that would be Wrangler's kids and Veronica's kids. And at what point, why are they still being kept from Wrangler? Why does Wrangler not have custody of his kids? He's been through his rehab. He's did everything he was supposed to do. Why are they with the aunt or with whoever they're with? Why? Why are they not back with their father? There's no doubt in my mind that Granny loved them grandkids, but she did take their mom. That's sad. And I believe they loved their dad too. Kids get stuck in bad spots. And a lot of times they get persuaded in different things. Now, I will tell you that on these SA reports, there was even a third report. And I don't think they were persuaded with anything with the details that's in the report. So, and again, the hospital in Boise City would have had no control over the state of Kansas reports that they did for Children's Services. So, with that said, much love to everybody. I will catch you guys tonight. Go to Melanie's channel. It was April 2nd. Go watch it. It's worth the watch. Okay? And I will email USMC, is that the Marine Corps, I would say, Cowgirl. I will message you as soon as I get a chance. Okay, right now I've got to drive 90 to nothing to get where I got to go. So.
Oh, I've been through some things. Oh, I've been through some